And the next meeting we can actually decide on which items we actually want to kind of expand upon. So I had asked everybody to kind of come up with an idea list of things that we'd like to see the club do. Again, kind of keep in mind, we're going to be collecting, unlike in years past, 2022 will be a little bit better because what we did with the funds, the $2 that we collected, or $1 even the year before, pretty much paid for the bag tag point payout alongside the membership, a piece of the membership fees, and also the payouts for what else did it do? It did the bag tag and the points. Does that sound about right, Ray?
Yeah. Yes.
Whereas this year, the membership fee will, basically we have a listed out what's paying for, and now this year the money that we actually collect is going to go towards the actual club. Even more so than years past. There's not a piece that we have to set aside for points race, for example, because that's already taken care of in each of the events themselves, hence moving everything up to $10. So we'll have $3 per person for doubles to work with, and we'll have approximately 2 and some change, or maybe just slightly right at 2 for each of the singles people that we have. So looking at the numbers of what we've done so far this year, give me a second, sorry. I had to restart, so of course it kicked me off of the Tally Disc Golf account. Yes, it is me. All right. Okay. Public, financial info, and handicap summary. All right. So far, the singles, we had almost 700 people. We only have one more event left for the year. And for doubles, we ended up with 473 total people basically playing. So, that's, and of course with the doubles, that was only from April, basically almost May, because obviously COVID, we were kind of a little bit slower to get going. So, we're looking at a pretty good amount to work with. Yeah, so basically if we had the same numbers for doubles next year, we're looking at $1,500. And then singles, probably we'll have more stuff to pay out from the singles, obviously the leagues, for example, and stuff like that. So, that's to kind of give you a base quick idea of how much we'll have. So I know one of the items already on the list is the Lost and Found boxes. Basically at this point, I went ahead and set Chad off as the committee head, and he is going to go do some research and see. We have his, if we paid for it, outright cost, which it looks about like $1,100 for both of them. And apparently those things would pretty much be a shelter that you could probably hide in during a hurricane. So he's going to look at different ways to try to reduce the cost on that and get back with us. And I told him if he wanted to post to the TDGA page to try to get help from other people, I would, pin it and do all the normal stuff as well. And we'll talk to him periodically to figure out where he's at with it. So that's one idea. One of the ideas I have is we buy discs and try to run an event with schools where we just give the disc away. I know we could also do that with backup stuff as well. But having something brand new almost feels a little bit more, the way to go, especially since we could probably get it, 50 or 60 pretty cheap. And so having, putting new stuff in people's hands might be a good idea. So with that being said, kind of go around the room and kind of let me know what you guys have an idea for and where we'd like to kind of go with that. I guess next, we'll just kind of go in the order of I see everybody. So Dave, you're actually technically next here. So
So when you're saying ideas on the school thing or ideas overall, like what are you exactly
Ideas for
looking
the
for?
club to spend money on next
Oh,
year.
okay.
Right. Yeah. Which is
Um,
what I mentioned at the last board meeting to kind of come up with ideas for the 2022, because, we're going to be generating a lot more
yeah,
um,
yeah.
money than we had in the past to work with. Whereas now we can kind of like come up with things to actually help the community with and try to help spread, the Tallahassee Disc Golf Association's name out there a little bit. Whether that's a
Yeah.
new website for ourselves, for example, if we want to pay for that, that was an idea I had last year, but kind of moving everything to Google seems like an easier, cheaper idea anyway. So,
Mhm. Well, I've always had on my list, and I'm always supportive of trying to go to the schools to have a clinic type of thing, and then let them keep the disc and get to play a course. I mean, like Buck Lake Elementary, for example, when we put the 9 baskets out there, they're permanently installed full baskets, and be able to do a clinic or something like that with the kids. It helps when you have the baskets on the grounds, but baskets are expensive. But trying to get other schools to want to head in that direction when they hear the stories about Buck Lake and what they're doing. I don't even know if it's part of the PE curriculum, but anything that we can do to expose the sport to the kids, I think would be a great avenue to go. As far as how to spend the money, obviously disc is the thing, and then it's our time. But I, I I don't know that we have to make every decision now on what we spend the money on, but we should be thinking about it and talking about it as part of our agenda every time we meet. I just don't know
correct.
that we might have better ideas when 3 months or 6 months goes by, and I don't want to fully commit everything, our ideas to without if
Well,
somebody
no,
comes
no,
up with a better idea.
no. Well, that's what I'm saying is none of this is actually committing to anything. This
Okay,
is more of
okay,
literally a fact gathering. Just
okay,
literally list
Putting it all on
everything
the
that.
table.
okay.
Correct. And
Looking at
then at
options.
the next meeting, yeah, exactly. And then the next
Okay.
meeting, then we start to say, okay, here's one of the ideas we came up with. Where do we put it? Is it in the 6 month time frame? Is it the 1 year time frame? You know what I'm saying? It's not more of a we're not making any decisions today. This is literally just all of us getting together to kind of have an idea of you know, what we'd like to see for 2022 and beyond. Um, that's
Yeah,
really what this is about.
there's
So.
something to think of on that. I mean, not to jump in there, but on the same thing is we may look at the U Play disc golf, and try to get a school to partner because that U Play has a curriculum for the schools, and if they put in so much money, they give them baskets and discs and everything to go with it as a PE curriculum. So that may be something that we find a school that's interested that the club sponsors.
On that note right there, Marshall, there
Yeah.
was a guy who works as a PE teacher who lives in Thomasville, but commutes down to the School of Arts and Sciences on
Right.
Thomasville Road. And he posted about a month or two ago about donating any used discs for his curriculum and everything, and gave him a bunch of the basic plastic and whatnot. And so he would be someone you can probably reach out to see if they'd be interested in that kind of program, if that's
Okay.
something that the group wants to go with.
Yeah.
I mean, even if we do it a little bit, I mean, that would be fine. I know, trying to think, um, try to run any events around Jack McLean as well, maybe. I know we had talked about that area as well to try to help that, maybe try to get that part of the community more involved in their park itself. I know, as I saw, there were some discussions there before, but I don't know um, exactly how that would work.
Right. I mean, I think that's a good idea, even if we can include that south side anyway, to have them involved would be good. On top of even with since arts and sciences is already trying to have that, then try to partner with them, try to partner with the school off of. I can't remember what the elementary school is close to the Jack McLean.
Uh,
Yeah.
Good, good.
I don't know what that school is, but Mario, when they have activities over at Jack McLean, the park there, they have the community center actually does certain activities for them. I'm sure they have them on the schedule and the calendar, right?
Yeah, it depends on what's going on. We have after school programs, different things on Saturday sometimes. Just depends.
Well,
And
is
then
there some way we could?
some other groups come in to use it as well.
I just wonder if there's some way to get it included on their calendar and have a kind of a free disc golf clinic and small tournament, 9-hole tournament or whatever, for open to anybody and everybody to come out there and enjoy it. And our club goes out there to run it. And we actually, if we happen to get, say, 20 people to go, then there's several of us on each with each card walking around and teaching them the game and showing them what to do, and and just giving them tips and let them go at it and at least get them exposed to the sport. Can we get it on their calendar? Do you think the city would allow us to get that on the calendar, say, for a future month?
Maybe in the spring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure we could definitely do something like that.
It's on their property. I mean, at least we can
Probably
start
pretty
there. And if
easy.
it's a success and we learn from it, what we can do better, we can go hit up a couple of the other community parks and invite them to come over, put it on their calendar to meet at Jack McLean Park, and do the same thing with another community center, and just kind of go around the city and see what we can do
Yeah.
to get on the calendar every 3 months or every 6 months or something for an open invitation kind of clinic and mini tournament or something
Well,
eventually.
it could be that, and then at the end we could do hot dogs, hamburgers type things, so they're out.
True.
Maybe we could put some junior pads in at Jack, if we're going to have people from the community center play there.
I may have
Maybe.
opportunity to play at Jack then.
Yeah.
That'll actually be something we could put on the list, Mario, because that would have to go in after, if there are improvements made, it would go in after those.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Another idea would be, and this is something I want to do more for the club, is meeting twice a year. I know normally in the past we always did it after the bag tag tournament, like in February or January in this particular case. But I'd like to start doing, biannual every year where we just meet somewhere without playing and just getting together, kind of doing what we did yesterday, but also kind of just to get a chance for everybody to meet other members and kind of do some community amongst ourselves, right? Because obviously we are doing some stuff. Most of the time we always just hang out to play disc golf. So and that would be more of a, we rent a location. So that's what I would kind of think of. That would be a use for the funds as well, unless I mean, does the city have anything we can rent from them at all? Or if not, we can always start looking for other places, but I figured I'd start with you guys first.
How was the turnout last night?
It was just 2 people, but again, that's part of the reason why we're recording these, because I also understand during the week it's kind of hard for people to join, which is another reason why we started doing the WebEx stuff as well. So that way people don't have to show up.
Yeah, I mean, our community room where you met last night is usually typically available for some community groups to meet. We have the Myers Park Neighborhood Association meets there a couple times a year for their meetings. Some other folks do too. Depending upon how often you want to use it, when you want to use it, we probably can work out some details.
Okay. Well, it's just more.
If that's suitable.
I mean, it's, we're looking at potentially member-wise, we have 100. You figure best case scenario, most of the time you'd probably get maybe 30 to 40% show up at best. So, I mean, 40 people in there, it look like it might be a little tight for that many people, or right at capacity. I don't know. Again, I was just asking just to see what you guys had.
We fit you probably 50 to 70 supervisors in there when we have our administrative staff meetings, something like that. It holds, because we just usually have a head table, and then I don't know what you had yesterday, but we just had theater style seating, in there. But yeah, it's a decent. It's not huge, but it's decent.
Right. And like I said, I think it would work for our purposes because we could do, because my idea also is just kind of like how we always do is do the food where we have people bring stuff, but also the club pay for food to pay like we've done in the past with, was it Wilcox that normally cooks or is it
Casey?
no, Casey? Yeah, that's right.
Casey?
I feel bad because I always get those two confused unless I see them. Then I remember who's
I'm
who.
gonna tell him that.
I know. I tell them the same thing. So I don't. They both of them can beat me up or something. I guess. Not my fault. They're both 5'5". So, but yeah. So I think that would be a good use of some of the club funds as well. Where we don't have to be all sweaty and have played around. And that would be a good place for everybody to literally say, we're on a Saturday. We're going to do it from 9 to 12 that you would normally play around, but now you can come and talk to us all and try to do more of this kind of stuff because all we can do is just try to entice people to get together as much as possible. I mean,
Yep.
I don't know what else to do. So, I guess if nobody else has a ton of ideas, we can just kind of go through also the plan for 2022. I guess a little bit.
The only other thing I was gonna say is, we got some new courses going in. The city's putting in some new courses, the one down in Southwood. Maybe there's something that the club can do, to, just pick something, whether it's, I don't want to say a lost and found box. It looks like they're kind of expensive, but something, to help out with it. We can put our name on it, the Tallahassee Disc Golf Club, for each course that they put in.
Well, and that's another thing, Ray. You mentioned that, and when Mario comes back, I don't know if it's possible for us he's back, to have, if the club paid for a sign that was permanently at each one of the courses that had, the QR code for the club and that type of thing. It doesn't have to be huge, but like a 3x3 or so sign underneath the disc golf sign, so it's there. So people,
Mario, that's our kiosk, which has all that stuff for the club that we've been talking about.
Yeah, I think we may end up wanting to do something, sounds like sooner rather than later though, Dave, with that. As far as the signage goes, I don't think that's a problem. I think we have some signage up for the remote control car guys, their club that they have at that, at that facility. So I don't think we would object to, a smaller sign temporarily, at least both at McLean and at Tom Brown for now, until we can get the big thing built or bigger thing built. But yeah, I think it's a good idea to promote the club. A lot of people just don't know,
No, they don't.
That's right.
And it's great when people discover it. When like I said, following the Facebook page, when somebody new comes into town, or they're here for the weekend, or they're here for work or something, it's great to see all the people chime in, offer to help, take them around, show them what's what. Or so that would just be an easier way for them just to discover it real quick too.
Yep, that's an idea. And I know Ray, just to kind of get everybody up to speed, Ray has reached out to the bag tag group again that makes the minis, and we're gonna probably do the new logo on them.
Did you get that
as
email?
well?
I copied
did.
you on. You did? Okay.
Yep. That's why I told you
didn't
thank
hear
you.
back from them.
Yeah, I know. I went to the website and it said everything was sold out, so I didn't know if maybe you had already discussed with them something, and maybe they have stuff that they keep in reserve that's not on the website, so that's why.
Well, I did
So I
call
appreciate you reaching. Okay, they just never called you back.
They said they'd answer the email, so
Okay.
if I don't hear from them tomorrow, I'll call it back.
Okay. And I mean, we're not in a super rush right this second, other than we need them by the second week of January, I guess. So that way when we finish. Yeah, that's why I all of a sudden was like, oh, we need to get on this.
Along with the disc, we need to get that taken care of pretty quick.
Yeah, that was something I was looking at as well. I'll reach out to Prodigy, see what they have available. I know they've got a ton of the new two new proto discs, the PX3 and the D2 Pro, but the D2 Pro is allegedly close to the X1, so I don't know if too many people want to be trying to throw X1s. But you know, and then obviously I haven't seen Dynamics what they have in available at the moment, wholesale stuff yet either. So I know you
have a
sent it to
whole
me.
lot.
Yeah, and like I said, I know you sent it to me, but that seems to be the case with all the companies at the moment too. So it might be one of those, whoever has the most of what we can use, we grab.
Right.
So that's the next thing I'll be working on tomorrow is, and in fact, because I want to try to get all that stuff done, because I started going through the member signups and sending out the invoices to people. And Dave, did you get the email back already for the welcome email essentially that I sent out? I just want to make sure somebody got it on that list because nobody really responded on Facebook.
The welcome email.
For the 2022 membership where it had the PDGA code
Yeah,
to
I
renew.
saw that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just want to
Yeah.
make sure you got it. That's all.
Yeah, I did.
Because I noticed you were one of them on there. So
I filled
what's
it
the
out and paid. Oh yeah, yeah.
What's the PDGA code for? Is that for a UDisc?
no, that's for to renew your PDGA membership at a $5 discount because we are a PDGA club affiliation, I believe is what they're called.
Oh, okay.
So
what
it
about
costs-
the UDisc? Are they is there a code for the UDisc too, or?
No, it's called
No,
it's called your
Pay for
wallet.
that this year?
Your
Yeah, it
wallet
appears
is the
that
code.
the PDGA and UDisc separated on that. I think partly because now they have their PDGA live scoring going on, that's all they really cared about. Honestly, was just trying to get that off the ground, and a lot of people used UDisc during tournaments to do the paper scorecard replacement, right? So I think now that they finally feel like they've got the live scoring up to speed where it can handle what everybody's doing, that they don't need UDisc partnership anymore. So
basically, it's the same amount since we don't have a code for UDisc, but we're getting $5 off the membership or something. So it's about evens out.
you're getting, if you renew your PDGA membership, that code that will go out once you renew, you will put that in on the PDGA website, and your membership will cost you, I think it's 50 for amateurs, so it would cost you 45 for the year. Yeah.
Okay.
And if you're like James and I, you already renewed, and so
Yeah, me too.
which is funny because I'm the one who did the affiliation, so I should have just waited.
Yeah.
No, I can't blame I can't blame Jeff this year. Yeah, so that's done. Let's see. What else is on the list? So we have the 6-week league coming up immediately after. It will start immediately after the bag tag. It will be 6 weeks of long tees. Marshall and I have decided, or more me, and I just told Marshall, but so if anyone's angry, they can be angry at me. 20 holes for longs. So we'll play pretty close to Dave's layout for the pro at Tom. So it'll be 1 through 9, A to B, C, F, 10, 11, 12 to 13, and then the rest of the course, 14 through 18. So, and then Jack, I believe we're going to play 1 through 12 or 13, was it?
13.
13, and then skip over to 18.
Yep.
So, and then I have, I know I'd mentioned this to Dave and Marshall already, and maybe James too, but I've reached out to Josh Earl because I'd like to do 2 rounds out there from their long tees if they want. However, I know they've always asked for $5 per person to do that, and I basically told them that we couldn't ask people to do that. $15 would be probably a bit too much for people to play, so that we would be willing to offer $1 per person for the league. So then he wouldn't get as much money, but he would have rated rounds out at Millstone using the long tees that he's always trying to use anyway. So I talked to him today about it. He said that he would get back with me once he heard And I told him, either way, I would like to do it, but if it's a problem, then we just won't. So,
But the league this year is just Jack and Tom. Is that correct?
not yet.
Not yet.
Or
Okay.
you're thinking of handicaps. Handicaps are only at Jack and Tom, correct?
I'm
When we
talking
play
about
events,
I'm talking about the league play from the long tees.
yeah. Oh,
Yes,
okay. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Yes. As of right now, it's just Tom and Jack. And I'm hoping to get Millstone, so it'll be a 2-2-2. But if he can't do it, then it'll be a 3-3.
Okay.
3 weeks at Tom and 3 weeks at Jack, and obviously we'll alternate back and forth. So then I know another thing is Marshall has been speaking with. I'll let you go ahead and speak about that real quick. The Mariana event.
Yeah, I've been in talks with Thomas, the guy that created the course in Mariana, about putting on a event there, and we're looking at possibly February 26th, where we would combine Tallahassee, Dothan, Panama City, and possibly Defuniak Springs, all coming over on a Saturday, putting on a one-round C-tier event. Brent's gonna reach out to Flight Factory in Pensacola, get them to cover the payouts. So basically, we would pay $30 to play. $20 would go to the payouts, and $10 would go to the club in Jackson County to help with their course. And also to have a big show out over there, so the city of Mariana will see that disc golf is an interesting thing, and people come out to play it because they're already talking about putting in another 18-hole course in Mariana. So that was it.
Okay. And then I know Josh, speaking to Josh today, he also mentioned the Ice Bowl. Oh, I'm sorry. I see you keep on muting. If you want to speak real quick, Mario.
I just have an unusual fact.
Okay.
that may help with the Mariana folks.
Okay.
There's a gentleman I met oddly at a used video game store with my children that is a childhood friend of Ricky Wysocki's.
Really?
Oh, cool.
So I have his number and name, and maybe there's a way, to do something through him, through Ricky, not necessarily he won't be there, but at least maybe he could provide something, donate something.
Right. Yeah.
A hologram of Ricky.
Yeah.
Hello, people.
Hey, it's good enough for Tupac. It's good enough for Ricky.
That's
But
right.
that might be something that Marshall talked to me about that, and
Okay.
like I said, we had a nice conversation when we were at the store. I know the in with the guy. I know what he's into, and he's a little bit of an author on all these fun, unusual subjects like Bigfoot and aliens, and so we just need to talk to him about that, and we'll win his heart. So.
Cool.
Speaking of is Ricky going to Dynamic or Latitude, Dave? No, you don't know? Okay. They don't tell you anything. All right. We just double checking.
They don't tell us everything until just before, maybe.
If that. They probably won't even tell you. They're like, yeah, they'll figure it out.
There's got to be some blabbermouth among our group somewhere.
Always is. So anyway, Josh wants to do a Ice Bowl, or I should say, Don and that group really have been running it, I believe, the last couple of years. I told him that our league runs pretty much from January 15th to February 19th. So if they were going to try to do it, it'd have to be a Sunday if they were trying to get us to do the club involvement. I don't know what else to do on that one. So, he's going to get back with me and figure out dates, which kind of brings me to the next thing. I know, our TDGA event is now in March or something.
Yes.
I should know. So I know we want to run fundraiser events, so we're going to need to go ahead and start figure out what dates. I think I saw Kara on here somewhere. Figure out what dates work for you guys, but kind of let me know as soon as possible. And keep in mind, I know we have some C tier. The warm up is already scheduled, so like this year we kind of have to. I feel like the first 5 months are already pretty much planned almost without being planned. And to kind of keep in mind, that when we run these leagues, according to the PDGA that rules, we have to run them consecutively. We cannot skip a week without permission and from the PDGA. So, I want to try to fit our handicaps in good windows. I think after the January one, the next one will probably be midsummer, and that probably gives us plenty of time clear of all the events. But
Yeah, because we have March 5th is the warm up, April 8th is the open, May 7th is the open amateur weekend, and then we have June 4th is the Buck Lake tournament. So we got a
that's
jam
on the
packed.
calendar.
not yet. I haven't put them up there, but I need to. At least those events, and I'm sure David Ricky is going to want to have some, stuff out at his place as usual as well. So, I kind of want to be as fair to him as well as to Millstone and try to get everybody in where we can. I guess it's a good thing to have when you have so many courses to be able to use, but still. So kind of like I said, if you're on here, Kara, kind of think about what if you're doing fundraisers for 2022's. I guess that money would still be going towards. We would add it to what we already had for the 22 event. So, what else? That pretty much wraps up everything I was kind of thinking of. Like I said, anybody else have anything else for next year or ideas for what we want to see the club do, or kind of go from there?
I was thinking at one of those meetings you were talking about, just to hang out, we could do a putting competition.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
have something to do.
Of course.
Well, yeah,
that'd be cool.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Putting leagues are a thing.
Yeah.
And we could
and
also try to run them during the middle of the week, I guess, until the doubles start, if we really wanted to, maybe with some more planning in the future to kind of help raise money for the events in between, where you just do a putting league for $5 or something. $1 goes towards the event and $4 goes towards payout for people to whatever, I don't know.
I can tell you that Ology is willing off the side of their building, and there's a grassy area there near the road where they're willing to purchase 4 baskets, have them permanently installed, put them apart, and putting leagues usually vary the distances, I guess, that they putt, right?
I think that's correct.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I haven't played in one of them yet, but they were willing to put in some baskets outside there for people to putt and drink beer or whatever when they wanted to. But just keep that in the back of your mind. But putting leagues, I thought they varied the putting distances. That wouldn't work very good over there.
Okay.
We could explore the possibility of, doing it, like you said, Patrick, with the evening, with the darkness still during the week at one of our ball fields where we can put the lights on and bring in temporary baskets. Then you can have putting distances from a variety of locations. And
For points, yeah.
we do turn a blind eye to alcohol at the ball fields as well. So,
I was going to say, I feel like that you almost kind of are forced into that one.
yeah, we have a don't ask, don't tell kind of policy.
As long as they don't get too rowdy. Right.
That's it. As long as they're not rolling out kegs or anything, we're okay with it.
Cops aren't called.
Yeah, those are all, especially during when doubles is off during the week. It can take over the Tuesday as a quick, same amount of time frame, 5:45 ish to like 7:45, 8 o'clock ish. So people are doing the same amount of time, but then they can kind of do the putting league and kind of think of ideas. So that's a great idea. I'll put that down.
Well, you maybe even flip that and do $1 for the payout and $4 for the fundraiser, because if you tell people this is what it's for, we're fundraising for the open, people maybe, I don't know, just my thought.
Or do half and half of
half
some
and
type.
half, yeah.
Yeah, anything to try to help, push money towards the events to whatever we can do. So
Like I said, I don't drink, but I would be, if we're going to do putting, if maybe if we do that with Ology, maybe they're willing to do something for the open too, because we're there type thing.
They would probably. They've wanted to. They wanted to get our club over there for a couple of free drinks, but we haven't really pushed it.
Okay. Well,
Good social event for our club.
Hey, Patrick or Marshall, did Eric ever get back with you two on the EIN number?
okay, so what happened is that they sent me, I had to put an address in, so that delayed it until they basically emailed me back. So I finally signed, I have to physically sign off on it as well. So I did that and sent it back to them. So I should have it in the next probably week or two. So I'm
So
trying to
you're
hurry
good
up
with
and get
that?
it before the end of the year. And as soon as that happens, I'll be switching the PayPal information over.
Okay.
So
So
I mean,
PayPal with the, trying to think, weren't we setting one up for like the tournaments too, like the AM weekend, a separate one?
a Gmail, yeah, a Gmail and a PayPal, but I wasn't going to set up the PayPal account until we actually had the EIN because there'd be no point in doing so at the moment.
Okay, so you can have two different accounts on the same
Yeah.
EIN number?
EIN? I believe so, but we'll find out.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
not, you can apply. One person can have almost unlimited EINs for a business.
Okay.
I would like to hope that we don't need to do that though. But yeah,
Right.
the idea being, yes, the email address of discgolftallyevents@gmail.com would be the PayPal account.
Mhm.
And then
Okay.
anytime we set anything up through Disc Golf Scene, that's where all those funds would go.
Right.
And then any of our club events would still use our regular PayPal account. So that way we could kind of separate the two.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that
that
should
way,
work out good for you.
right, exactly. So that way, if refunds are necessary, it comes out of the event account, and it's also much easier to track where all the money is coming in and out. You don't have weekend events pushing money into the account on top of the disc golf scene money coming in as well, which obviously kind of made it a little hectic for you and I to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I need to get with you at some point too, Ray, because one of us needs to figure out who's going to replace you and essentially as the bank financier, bankier.
You
He's
probably want to change
unreplaceable.
some passwords and stuff and
Oh, I'm definitely changing some passwords, Ray. We don't trust you.
He's unreplaceable.
Yeah, you're forever in servitude with us, friend. You don't get to ever leave. You just
Yeah.
get to be told you can. but don't.
Seeing how you weren't there last night, we just made an executive decision that you're not allowed to step down, and you're permanently in that spot, no matter what you wanted to do.
You can put something on your calendar too, your yearly calendar when you do the Sun Biz and what's the other thing that you do? You do two things about right around February 1st every year. Sun Biz and something to do with
We
the
have
tax, something to do with the
yeah, I was gonna say,
taxes.
dude.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Yep.
usually
I
put them both
was
on February 1st, somewhere right around there.
okay. Yeah, I'm
It's
sure
pretty
we get the
simple.
10. I figured, and like I said, if somebody, maybe James can help me out a little bit here, and he and I can work together on it if he doesn't mind. But I'm sure we can figure out, and if we need to move names around on accounts, we can go ahead and do that as well. So I'll figure out a day I can take a couple hours off or even an hour or so off and come meet you, and we can deal with Capital City.
Okay, yep. And PayPal. Well, you pretty much got the PayPal, so.
Yeah, I can do the PayPal online. The Capital City, I have a feeling you have to show up in person. So
Yep, that is true. We'll have to do a signature card.
that's what I figured. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. Is there anything else, Ray? that you can think of other than
Not that
the?
I'm aware of. I'll tie all the loose ends up for 2021, by the end of the year, and then we'll work switching it over. And if you want to use
Okay.
my same layout for my spreadsheet, you can, or if you want to come up with something new, whatever you want to do. Mine was
Okay.
pretty simple, so
Okay. Yep. All right.
that's it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like I said, this was kind of a more of a not an impromptu meeting, but more of kind of a catch-all for the end of the year. And just kind of get an idea of what we're doing for next year and ideas for future years as well. Like I said, maybe we revisit the website idea to build, pay somebody to build it in a few years or something like that. So that way it's even easier and it's all automated.
What about the
So
what about the lost disc? That Sean's running. Are you going to continue running that the same way? Do you need to make any changes to it, or is it all running real smooth?
as far as I'm aware, it works well enough. We'll just make Sean pay a $500 retainer fee to the TDGA to do it. But but yeah, as far as I'm aware, it's working out. I know you guys had he'll just, I guess, instead of coordinating with you, he'll coordinate with either me or James on when it's time to do the deposits and all that, which I think he pretty much was emailing me as well anyway. So
Oh yeah.
not like it's making, $1 million or anything.
But every little bit helps.
Correct. Go ahead, Mario. Sorry.
Hey, just a radical, semi-radical idea. With when you talk to the Ice Bowl folks, would it be something to be considered to have a night ice bowl? Normally and usually when we play night golf, we have to go so much later because we usually do it in the summer or, early fall. And we have to, we finish at 11, 12 o'clock every, time we do it. But if we did a winter a night ice bowl, we could start earlier and be home by 9 or 10 and be a little different twist on the ice bowl. And you could fit it into your schedule maybe better.
That's radical.
Yeah, maybe. It'd be yeah, like kind of like we did for the last night golf out at Morningside, where we did it.
Yeah.
We did our normal handicap event, and then people went and did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could always do that.
It's just something to
mean,
throw
we
out
can.
to them if they're interested in trying to do something like that. I still have a decent amount of lights, and if they want to use Tom Brown, it's
Okay.
an option.
That's what I was going to ask next. Would you mind us using Tom, or would
No,
we?
no, definitely. Yeah, no, we would use the shelter. We could, we got some electric there. At least we bring out some of our big LED lights to light
Okay.
up the shelter. And so, you still could do your registration, your preparation, your food like they always do. Yeah, I mean, I think it might work.
Okay. Yeah, because you could even start it a little bit later or a little bit earlier, like 4 or 5, and then get lunch, do a dinner, and then move on
Yeah.
into the ice bowl and get done. Yeah, and speaking of that too, I told Josh that if he can't make it to meetings and he wanted to send some representative for Millstone to feel free. So hopefully, he'll talk to whoever that group is. Like I said, I feel like it's Don and Kurt and that group, and maybe one of them will want to show up to these meetings and try to work with us a little bit if possible, or I'll reach out to them and work with them, whatever it is, to try to figure out something that works where we can keep up with what they're doing. So and try to help their, because I want that course to do just as well as Morningside or anything else. So so like I said, anybody else have anything else?
That's it for
That
me.
we can. Okay. Going once, going twice. All right. Well, again, thank you guys for your time, and we'll post this to the YouTube and let the members know it's there.
Okay.
right.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
See
Bye,
y'all.
guys. See ya.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.